Hey students, welcome. This week we're going to study Standard 15. This will be day 1, and this week we're going to be centered around money management strategies that you can employ to protect your financial future. I hope this week that we can give you some strategies that will allow you to become a millionaire, if that be your goal, or to at least just win and not fall into some of the traps and pitfalls that others do concerning their management of money. The essential question that we're going to cover in this lesson will be why it is important to develop personal financial plan and how that relates to credit and budgeting and all those things that we really don't like to think about, but hopefully we can, through this lesson, change our mind about these tools and resources. All right, so let's just jump right in with day 1.
Students, today I'd like to begin by showing you this chart of Ben and Arthur. They're twin brothers. Both have the same part-time job. And then, of course, as they get older, you can see where they maybe get into their careers. But what I want to show you specifically is when I referenced earlier that time and compound interest are your best friends. I really meant that, and this illustrates it, and that's why we need to start with this chart before we go into any other money management principles. I want you to see specifically what proper money management can do for you in your life. Look specifically at age 19, Ben. He has that part-time job and decides that he is going to take $2,000 a year and invest it, or save it, so to speak. $2,000 a year is nothing more than $167 a month. So he takes $167 a month, $2,000 a year, and invests from age 19 to 26. His brother Arthur has that same part-time job, but decides, I'm going to blow all of my money. I want to be entertained, and I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor. So he blows it all, but decides at age 27, I really need to start getting busy with saving in my life. And so at that same age, Ben, you can see, he's done saving. He stops. He says, I'm starting a career, probably pretty soon going to begin settling down and start a family. So I'm going to use all the money I earn from this point on, and I'm just going to live. I'm not going to do any more saving. But because he started early, as you scroll down the chart, you can see where his investment of $16,000 over the course of 7 years of his life translates into over $700,000 more. They're both multimillionaires. Listen, Ben and Arthur are both, any way you shake it, multimillionaires. However, Ben, because he started earlier than Arthur, is a multimillionaire and has $700,000 more than his brother Arthur because of that factor we called time. The reason being is compound interest. The interest that he was able to earn early compounded and was kind of like a snowball as you see it rolling down the hill. As it rolls down the hill, it gets larger. Same scenario when you consider compound interest. Okay, now that we looked at the chart of Ben and Arthur and you guys kind of have an idea of what could be if you just manage money well and you're smart about your approach, it's almost a guarantee. I can't sit in good faith and tell you, hey, I'm guaranteeing you'll be a multimillionaire if you just do this. But what I'm saying is, even if I'm somewhat wrong on the interest rate, you still set yourself almost for life if you start early and you invest well, invest in things that you can explain and things that you can understand easily. You'll be much better off in your life. All right, Standard 15 is develop a plan for managing, earning, spending, saving, and giving using spreadsheets, online resources, and commercial software. That is the standard that we're going to focus on specifically this week. And we have some essential questions. First of all, why is it important to develop a personal financial plan? We're going to study that this week. How do you determine wants and needs? We're specifically going to look at that today. How would you create and utilize a budget? We're going to look at that in great detail as we go along. How would you create and utilize an income statement? And then how can consumers pay for acquiring goods and making major purchases? Creating a financial plan. Step 1, we want to determine our money habits. And we want to look specifically, analyze our personal uses of money, be it ATM cards, credit cards, debit cards, or traditionally cash. However you spend money, I want you to analyze that. And we want to look today and tomorrow at needs and wants. And we want to start to distinguish between those. What's a need and what specifically is a want. And then I want you to start to analyze, is your money habits more geared toward devoting money toward needs or wants? Have you ever bought something on impulse or overspent money on something that you didn't need, and you felt, that weight or that guilt and that, man, I wish I had that money back? I want you to take just about 5 minutes and kind of just consider that. Needs versus wants. Food. Okay, so you need protein, vitamins, and minerals, again, to live. But you may want ice cream. So see, you got to distinguish that. Other needs versus wants. You need clothing. However, you may want the newest version of the Lucky brand jeans, per se. You need shelter. You may want to buy the 6-bedroom house on the lake that's worth $2.5 million. I use these as examples for you to determine a need from a want. You have your needs: food, shelter, clothing. And then we have to factor our wants in there and determine what are our habits for spending money, and then how can we use better strategies to gather wants as we go. Okay, students, your task for today will be to complete activity 1.1a, 1.1b, and then 1.2 on pages 4 through 8 in your Module 1 Money Management Control Your Cash Flow books that should be available to all career preparedness students. Thanks.